They take strategy, smarts, and sometimes luck. I'm talking about board games. Most of us grew up playing them, but very few of us ever invented one. Katarina introduces us to two teens who actually did.
Long before there were video games, there were board games. And I mean long, long before. This painting was found on a wall of Queen Nefertari's tomb. Looks like Her Highness is about to make her opening move in Senate. And people in just about every country have been playing board games ever since. There are now so many board games available, you could play a different one every day of your life, even if you lived until the incredible age of 277. The website Board Game Geek has a list of more than 100,000 different games, and more than 3,000 board games are introduced each year. So, what does it take to develop a successful board game? Let's find out. Joining us are Lily Brown and Tate Hansen. They were the grand prize winners of the Young Inventor Challenge. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How did it come about? Did you just wake up one day and say, rather than watching TV, let's invent a board game?
Well, we were actually just really bored one day and we thought, why not make a board game? I don't really know why that was our first thought, but since Lily's dad invents games, we've just been around them a lot and we thought it would be fun to try.
And so we gathered a ton of random materials around the house, like cardboard and straws and paper and Sharpies and all that, and just glued it all together and started making this board game.
How old were you at the time?
When we started making the game, we were in 3rd grade, and by the time we finished it, we were in 5th or 6th grade.
Why did it take so long?
Well, so when we started it in 3rd grade, we didn't really think much of it. We weren't too serious about the idea. And then Lily moved in 4th grade, so we completely forgot about it. But when she came back to visit Chicago in 5th grade, we kind of thought, oh, this could be something. So we revisited the idea and improved it then.
So you came up with the game Betcha Can't. How do you play it?
So the idea of the game is to one-up your friends, and it's kind of like a competition, because we, in 3rd grade, we love to one-up each other a lot. So the way the game plays is everyone sits in a circle, and one person reads a card, and it'll say something like, name blank animals in 20 seconds. And then you'll go around the circle, and it's your only chance you get to bet. So you have to say the highest you possibly think you could ever name. And so you go around and let's say it's 8, 9, 12, 14, 17, 18, and it just keeps going all the way until it gets back to the person who read the card. And if they say bet you can't, the person with the highest bet has to do what they said they can do.
That sounds pretty challenging. So, after you developed what's called a prototype of the game, what happened next?
So after we developed the prototype, we decided, we thought the idea was really good and we were confident in it. So then we entered it into ShyTag,
which is the Chicago Toy and Game Fair, and then they have a Young Inventors Challenge there, so we entered it in there. And before we even entered it, we played it with Tate's family and my family over and over again to get as much feedback as we could.
You beat about 200 other entries. Did the judges tell you why they chose your game as the grand prize winner?
They told us that the idea stood out to them, and they thought that it would really be able to work in Target, and they think that our game was not alike to any of the other ones, so that's why they liked it.
The concept of figuring things out, but also guessing and pulling it together in a competitive game where you got to figure out how many of a certain thing you can name, and then you can see if the other one can't do it, and it was awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, they said that it would work really well because a lot of the times they change the game a lot and they redo a ton of things. But our game, they said that it was good enough that they only had to change a few things and polish off a few other things so that it was ready to be in production.
Yeah.
Now, Tate, you mentioned Target. The game is actually selling at Target. How cool is that?
It's unreal. It's so exciting.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's always so cool to go there and you're like, oh my gosh, there's my game. I made that.
Yeah, every time I go to Target, Like, no matter if I'm even there for it, I just have to check the shelves and make sure that it's there.
Besides taking top honors at the challenge, what did you win?
We won a lot of games from different toy companies, and we won $500 each for our college savings.
And when each game is sold, we get a fraction of the money from the sales,
which is called a royalty.
Well, we hope those royalties keep pouring in. Good luck! Thank you for sharing your incredible story with us.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
For information on how to enter the Young Inventor Challenge, check out their website. Here's one last piece of advice. If you have a concept for a game or toy, go for it. And don't let anyone discourage you by saying, "Bet you can't," because I bet you can. For Teen Kids News, I'm Katarina.